the evolution of every playable mythic boss in Fortnite's history as we try and figure out which one was truly the strongest, starting with the very first, Thanos. This guy, he meant business. If you were lucky enough to pick up the Infinity Gauntlet, you would become him. Only one person on the map at any point could be him. Fun fact, the Russo brothers, who were the project leads at Marvel, actually went to Fortnite with the idea of adding Thanos into the game, and they were the ones that made this happen. How incredible was that? This was the first ever mythic in Fortnite's history, and it was ridiculously powerful for a good reason. Taking people out, you'd get your health and shield back, and then they adapted it to another Thanos within a second LTM, which was the end game LTM, where here there was only one player again that could be Thanos, but there were two teams fighting, the Marvel team then the evil Thanos team. Thanos has multiple abilities, including the ability to laser beam from his hand, punch enemies, as you can see there, and jump very, very high in the air. In this mode, he had even more health, 1,000 health and 1,000 shield. And the more stones that were collected, the more powerful he became. It's worth bearing that in mind. If we're comparing and thinking about the most powerful mythic boss of all time, he's gotten even stronger. Because he went ahead and collected the reality stone, it doubled his health and shield. It's like you could evolve and improve and upgrade this mythic boss to even better than the first time when Thanos was added in. He got bigger and stronger. So we then go on to Doom. Oh my goodness, this was incredible. The Doom Island spawned towards the end game, and if you were lucky enough to have it spawn in your game, it was initially just a 5% chance, a 1 in 20 chance that it would appear. You could go ahead and capture the Dr. Doom Cauldron. Now, bearing in mind the entire map here is probably trying to do this. It's a very open space. It was extremely risky, but if you did it, you didn't instantly become Dr. Doom. You then had to claim it to become Dr. Doom. And I remember some people putting a load of hard work in, capturing it, and then someone else claiming it. But oh my goodness. You were basically guaranteeing yourself a win here. Look at him. The animation. Come on. I think one thing that's really important to note is that you should feel like a god when you're using these mythic bosses. Thanos did that, and Dr. Doom definitely did that. You're in the end game here, and the abilities were incredible. Not as much health and shield, just 500 health, 500 shield, but your attacks were powerful. With the arcane barrage, you could fire a little burst, and the giant mystical giga bomb that you could throw, and then a beam a little bit like Thanos as well. So actually had even more crazy abilities than Thanos. A huge leap and glide, so you can move around better and with more control than Thanos, is worth noting. You could even slam on the ground as well. I loved this boss. But in a similar way to the Thanos, they did another mode for people that weren't lucky enough to actually use him in a proper Battle Royale game. We had Doom's team fighting against, the Marvel team. But only one person could be Dr. Doom. Do not forget that. In a very similar fashion, you were going ahead and trying to claim all 6 artifacts rather than all of the stones like you did with Thanos. And you were powerful, although you definitely died a lot quicker in this mode because there was a lot of Marvel people attacking you and they'd respawn constantly. You can see here that the Marvel characters had infinite respawns, but Dr. Doom's team were limited. But a great way for people to use Dr. Doom that weren't lucky enough to use him in Battle Royale. But for me, how special it was and lucky it was to become Dr. Doom meant a lot. Go to Godzilla. The portal is open! Chapter 6, introducing a new god mythic boss every single season. And the way you became him was finding and being the first person to enter the portal, and you'd come down as Godzilla. This was epic! Are you kidding me? You're like meteoriting onto the floor. The biggest boss we'd ever had. Giant health bar, multiple attacks. You could scream to scan the area, know exactly where other enemies were. A giant, powerful laser beam that melted anything in its way. And then you could stomp on the ground as well. Now, this only lasted around 3 minutes. And it couldn't last any longer than that. Dr. Doom and also Thanos would last as long as you could survive. So there were limitations to this boss, but oh my goodness, was it so cool. It was again a low chance of this portal actually spawning on the map, a 20% chance. And they even had to add in weapons that were super effective against Godzilla, like the railgun. And if you shot the spikes on his back, it did extra damage. Taking Godzilla down would reward you with a medallion as well. So it was worth going for him. A lot of people were targeting you. Coolness factor, incredibly high. And there's the medallion. But strength factor, they definitely made it so he was meant to be killed and couldn't last all game. Now, the Imperial Star Destroyer came next. Another ability for you to actually control and be in something absolutely huge. Within the Star Wars mini-season, the portal would appear just like Godzilla, and you were about to rain destruction down. Again, no. This was limited. It would only last 1 minute 30. But I mean, look, again, the cool factor is way up there, right? You've got to bear that in mind. But we're looking for the most powerful here. Once you came in, you could shoot anything underneath you. It would go over generally the middle of the map. You could cause a lot of destruction. But if you were out the way, you didn't really need to even worry about this thing. But if you were on the map, you would be highlighted. You almost definitely would be killed. There was no control over the movement of this thing. I think the most amount of kills I ever got whilst using this was maybe 5 or 6. Whereas the most amount of kills I had as Thanos was maybe 20. Dr. Doom's different because it was at the end of the game. So the most amount of kills you could get was maybe 5 to 10 if there was a lot of people left. But it was fun. It was very, very cool. I'm never going to knock getting really cool boss abilities. But if I was to rank a worse one, this one, unfortunately, would be down there. But don't worry, crazier things are coming. So you got kicked out of the Death Star and rifted back onto the map. We then got none other than Superman, baby! This one was really cool. No longer a portal, but a Superman's cool that would come out of the sky. If you were too close to it when it landed, it would knock you away. So you need to be strategically placed here, as you can see. Everyone's rushing for this. It's competitive. You can be the only one on the map to become Superman, people. Look how cool that looks. So much cooler than the portal, in my opinion. So coolness factor, all of these rank really highly. But for actual damage and destruction, Superman was pretty strong. He could last a long time. If you took players out, you would regain health and time as Superman. You can see the health and usage you got left here in the bottom left. The abilities were the laser eyes. Of course they were. And also the Superman slam. You can fly around the map really, really quick. Bam. And also float, meaning that he was easy to use, but also quite easy to be shot at because the movement wasn't too insane. So he lasted longer than a lot of the other bosses and was available a lot earlier than Dr. Doom that would spawn into the island in the late game. But as a result of him being available a little bit earlier, he wasn't quite as strong. Though I've got to admit, I've never seen Superman versus a boss before. Genuinely interested to see. Wow. Wow. Okay. Boss fight literally going on here. Superman versus Core. And with... See what I mean? It's quite hard to aim as well. Limited attacks, people. See you later. Superman was awesome, but in my opinion, I wouldn't say he was the most powerful. Felt very special flying around the island as him, but we've got another new boss to look at. As Megazord has arrived, the newest boss, I need a team with attitude. Be the first to go over to him, and you will join the Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. That's right, you'll fly up and start piloting it. It is so cool. This guy has abilities we've never seen before and a mini boss fight right at the beginning. You need to take down Rita's monsters. And this will include crazy missile projectors, using the incredible sword from the Power Rangers show, and you can also stomp as well. This also comes with the scanning ability, so you can scan around you. But during this fight, you need to take down Rita's monster before you can go on and actually take down anyone else. And what happens at the end of the fight will blow your mind. Fortnite, I've never done like a boss fight within a boss fight like this before. It's really cool, though I would quite like to actually go and kill people. But wait and see what happens next, because as you're about to strike the final blow on Rita's monster, look what happens. You get to the final power sword hit. I've never seen anything like this before. Lift the sword up, get ready to charge. Watch the damage count. 99,999. Are you kidding me? Look, the health bar will recover here because it takes a lot of time to fight that boss. You can go around and stomp everyone. Bam! Swing your sword around. Fire missiles. It is so cool. Now, if you're actually fighting against Megazord here, and you're the one to successfully deal the most amount of damage when he gets taken down, you'll be rewarded with a Megazord medallion, which will scan and pulse the area around you, just like the scanning ability, like that right there, on time. And as your Megazord in the bottom left corner, you want to keep an eye on your health, as once that gets to 0, you won't die, but you will be kicked out of him. But look at that sword attack. Are you kidding me? Uh-oh. It's starting to flash. That means we're coming towards the end of the fun. Is there any more enemies nearby? It looks like we're going to have to say goodbye as we teleport out of Megazord. And that is all of the bosses. But which one's your favorite? I mean, Megazord technically dealt the most damage, but I think Thanos may never be topped as the most powerful boss of all time. And if you want a good laugh, on screen here's the funniest Fortnite clips. Click to go and watch them. Put code ALIE in your item shop as the best way to support me, and I'll see you on another video.